tunje tanjavalitanum bitunite tunjavali labdai karna krauda kachambini khachate karnurvedebhyo spriyam chita prana sangini pramati sarvendriyanam kritim no jane janita ki advi Krishna iti varnadvai. Which is a verse composed by Chaitanya's disciple Rupa Goswami. This verse is so poetic. We have seen dancers when they dance, ballet dancers. If you watch their feet, how rapid they move. Sometimes they swing on the toe. It's hard to watch them. So this Rupa Goswami says, I want my tongue should function like the feet of the ballet dancers. I want Krishna's name should dance on my tongue. And I'm not happy only with tongue. I want millions of tongues. So that I can chant God's name through millions of mouths. I am not happy with my 2 ears. I want millions of ears so that I can hear my beloved's name. And when that name dances on my mind, all my senses stop. I do not know what mystery is there in that 2 syllables, Krishna. What mystery in that name I do not know. That he wrote in the Vidagdha Madhav drama in the beginning. Today is a very, very auspicious day. Not only 1st January, English New Year's Day. On this particular day, Sri Ramakrishna became Kalpataru, wish-fulfilling tree. He blessed his disciples, saying, be illumined. Chaitanya Hok. It is really astounding that on that day no monastic disciple was there. Only householders. Only householder disciples are there. And he blessed them. Be illumined. Swamiji says most people preach religion, teach religion. No good. Sri Ramakrishna could give religion. His one touch, one glance can change a person's life. On that day he only touched them. And immediately they are in ecstasy. They are in samadhi. They had visions of gods and goddesses. Just touch, nothing else. That is called religion. Religion is not touched, is not taught. Religion is touched. And that touch transforms life. Sometimes I think about this St. Louis Center. Some people do not come, those who are close, they are very unfortunate. Do you know why? The samsara, this world, is the maya, burning, suffering. A man came to him and said, too much suffering. Him told him, whole night you will drink bottle after bottle, will you not stagger in the morning, hang out? So you drank this worldliness, you will suffer. How to get rid of these sufferings? Chant God's name. Develop your spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna told again and again, have the company of the holy. Our old Swami came here in 1938. My goodness, 82 years ago. And carrying this message of Sri Ramakrishna from this center. Swami Vivekananda wrote in Belur Math rule book, each center of Sri Ramakrishna is the limb of Sri Ramakrishna. We do not see Ramakrishna, but we are serving this center, we are serving Sri Ramakrishna. And last 42 years almost, I am serving this place and the people. I get so much joy when I serve you. Generally, every year I talk to you about the Kalpataru function, Kalpataru, what happened on that 1st of January. Today I shall talk about Sri Ramakrishna and the householders. I wrote a book in Bengali, Kalpataru Sri Ramakrishna. All the incidents and episodes of Sri Ramakrishna in this book. Then when I was in Hollywood, I was experimenting how American people can take Sri Ramakrishna. So I started a series of lectures, They Lived with God. And outcome of those lectures, this book came. It just 3 months ago when I was in India, they translated this book into German language. Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna is a name. When Rama was born, Dasharatha, his Ram's father, went to sage Vasishtha and said, could you give me a name to my son? Vasishtha said, this name of your son is Rama. There are so many names, why did you pick up this name? Listen, O king, the meaning of this name. The famous Vishnu mantra is Om Namo Narayanaya, that is Vishnu mantra. Om Namo Narayanaya. If you take Ra from this mantra, it remains Om Namo Narayanaya. That means Ruprasadike Namaskar. Salutation to the sensual objects of this world. The meaning becomes reverse. Instead of salutations to God, it becomes many salutations to the worldly things. Krishna. And then Ma. What is the Shiva mantra? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. If you take Ma from that mantra, what remains? Om Namah Shivaya. Means everything is bad, inauspicious. If you take Ma from Shiva mantra, everything becomes bad in this world. So I took the essence of Vishnu mantra and took the essence of Shiva mantra and gave the name to your son, Rama. Krishna. There are two meanings are there. Krishna means korshati. Korshan means plowing. As we have seen, the Indian farmers, they plow, they break the ground. So if you take this name, Maya will break. And Korshati means akurshati, it attracts the hearts of the devotees. So in this age, Rama and Krishna, these two avatars came as Ramakrishna. 2-3 days before Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji was near to Sri Ramakrishna. He was telling that the cancer cannot talk, throat cancer. But in this stage, if you can declare yourself who you are, then I shall believe you. Swamiji looked at Sri Ramakrishna looked at Swamiji and said, still you have doubt. He who was Rama, he who was Krishna, verily in this body is Ramakrishna. And Swamiji saw Rama and Krishna in him. He was lying in bed. That Ramakrishna name is spreading. Millions and millions of people are repeating his name, following his teachings and changing their lives. You know, some years ago, all the famous writers are asked to speak about Sri Ramakrishna. So there was a famous writer named Jarasandha. Do you know who was he? He was the director of a prison, but famous writer. Charuchandra Chakraborty. Jarasandha is his pen name. There was a girl, her name was Gyanoda. She was in the prison. She did not say that what crime she did, but she was in prison. Very sharp-tongued, very moody, rude, but very difficult to control that woman. Vidrahini. So in the jail there was a library. So this jailer, this writer, gave her a copy, the Gospel of Ramakrishna in Bengali. She doesn't know English. She read it. One day she came to the jailer and said, is there any human being like that? So loving, so forgiving, so caring. Then the librarian went to her and said, now you return your book. No, get out from this place. I shall not give this book to you. He complained to the jailer. Jailer says, let her read. A Ramakrishna magician is working on her. Don't disturb that girl. Then the jailer was transferred. So he went to Vyanoda. You return that book. I shall buy this set of Gospel of Ramakrishna. There are 5 volumes. 2 or 3 volumes I shall give to you. You return that library book. That girl with tearful eyes telling the jailer, can you give me a picture of Ramakrishna? The author, the Jarasandha wrote, when the jail, sorry, I forgot to tell that one. Well, why don't you finish? Well, this book cannot be ended. We have a devotee here, she is the divinity school, she was getting his master's. She read the Gospel of Ramakrishna. Do you know what is her comment? American. Swami, this book has one defect. And that defect is, this book has an end. That is the defect of the book. This book has an end. The jailer gave the book to her and said, take these 2 volumes. Nobody, you will not have to return anymore. The girl began to cry and said, you were so loving, so compassionate toward me. And at that time she asked, please give me a picture of Sri Ramakrishna. Recently, a man from Florida, he's in jail, wants initiation. He cannot come out. So I thought about it, I never gave initiation through letters, but I had to do it. I wrote the mantra, sent to her. And sent the Gospel of Ramakrishna and some other books, a big box of books I sent to him. That person sitting in jail will think of Sri Ramakrishna. He writes me time to time. I shall tell you another story. In Calcutta, one of our Swamis was working in Swamiji's house, and some young men came that a woman died and she left everything to Ramakrishna order. But she died, we need $25,000 for cremation. The Swami says, I do not know that girl. Who is she? That girl in a red light district. Her will, executor of the will is the congressman. So the Swami called the congressman, but yes, she left her everything to the Ramakrishna order. The Swami gave them $25,000. Then he took police van and went to her house. He found Ramakrishna's pictures, her shrine, Sri Ramakrishna, and she had $500,000 cash, nearly 1 million jewelry, and money, everything belonged to Sri Ramakrishna, nothing else. Her body was in the world, but her mind was with Sri Ramakrishna. Change. How Sri Ramakrishna changed people. When we hear these stories, we think how Ramakrishna is working. When Max Muller, the great German Orientalist, he translated Rig Veda, spending 40 years. Swamiji met him, and he wrote first English biography of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna and his sayings. So some people asked that, Max Muller, that Ramakrishna was not a good person. Toward the end of his life, he mixed with some drunkards and even the prostitutes, and they used to come to Sri Ramakrishna. Max Muller said that proves that he was God. He was a savior. He was the savior of the soul. Swami Turiyananda went to Bombay. And Sri Ramakrishna had a monastery, household disciple named Kalpataru Ghosh. In the living room, he was drinking and dancing. Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Ram Krishna, Jai Ram Krishna. And this direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, Turiyananda, was watching him. He was a guest. This is called real drinking. Intoxicated with Sri Ramakrishna. I remember in Hollywood, there was an actress. She used to say that, Swami, I'm in Vedanta 7 years, I'm not getting anything. I don't say that. You get something, that is the reason you come here. If you would not get anything, you will not come here second time. But that is true, Swami, I changed. As Swamiji says, Vedanta works very slowly, unperceptibly, just like gentle dew in autumn. That night time the dews fall, those dews nourishes the trees, plants, flowers, fruits. Then when the sun rises, they disappear. Unperceptibly they nourish the trees and plants. That is the way Vedanta works. It changes. I sometimes used to say that, before and after. Before you came to Vedanta, I shall take a picture of your face, and after some years, I shall take another picture of your face. I see my dentist office, before and after, they show all these things. When I was in Hollywood, I used to see all kinds of people. There was one devotee, doesn't know, do you know how she would offer food to Sri Ramakrishna? Thakur, khao. Master, eat. How we say Brahmarpanam, Brahmavir. Her mantra is different. That mantra came from her heart. Thakur, khao. Master, please eat. Then she will take food. There are so many people in this world we see how Thakur is working through them. Sangsar. There is an analogy of this world in the Mahabharata. A man was attacked by a lion, and he was running and running and running through the forest. All of a sudden he fell into a well. He could not see it. That well was covered, the top of the well was covered with creepers. So he grabbed the creeper and fell into the well. He was hanging. Below, in the water, he saw crocodiles, snakes, all in the water. And he saw on the top, a hungry lion was looking at him. And he was hungry and thirsty, hanging, grabbing the creeper. Below death, up death. And he found there is a beehive on the top. And the honey was dripping. And he opening his mouth and he was drinking this honey. That is this world. Death below, death above. That drinking a little honey, this worldly enjoyment. What a graphic description we find in our scripture. What is this world? We need rest. That is the reason Christ said, those who are heavy laden, come unto me, I shall give you rest. So these Vedanta centers, Ramakrishna's ashramas, are the resting place. You see, this function, I started for the devotees, close devotees. But sometimes I see those who are non-members call, Swami Shanakuja, come, yes, please come. This way we started just for the devotees. Close devotees, they will be more close to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna loved the devotees. Please remember, in this Kali Yuga, there are 4 ashramas are there. Brahmacharya ashrama, student's life, Garastha ashrama, householder's life, Vanaprastha ashrama, retired life, and Sannyas ashram, monastic life. All are ashramas, always remember. But in Kali Yuga, only 2 ashramas are prevalent. Garastha ashram, Sannyas ashram. A Garastha ashram, householder's life, is very, very important. Monks come from the householders, not from the monks. I was telling in Calcutta, they are laughing. One of our monks was very much, about women, he was very much diminishing distance, this and that. And look, monks do not come from the wombs of the monks, they come from the wombs of the women. And all laughed. Sri Ramakrishna wanted this Garastha ashram should be strong. Monastic ashramas also should be strong. He did not come for the monastic or the householders. He came for those who really sincerely want to realize God in this life. If you read his books, you will see that he is experimenting. It is a laboratory of God realization, Dakshineshwar. Dakshineshwar was a lab for God realization. He experimented how it works. I remember Swami Sarvagatanandaji used to tell a story. He gave a copy of the Gospel of Ramakrishna to a professor of Harvard University. He is praying. He read Woman and Gold or Maya. He closed the books and returned to Swami. Swami, that is too much for me. Then Swami said, do you know how to read a book? You will not have to take the whole thing. Take that thing which suits you. Sri Ramakrishna will have to give teaching to all kinds of people. When you read the Gospel of Ramakrishna, take those teachings which suit you. In the drugstore, there are all kinds of medicines. If you try to take all medicines, you will die. Only doctors know which medicine will work on you. That is the way it works. Don't try to grab all teachings of Sri Ramakrishna or all teachings of Jesus Christ. So he says, take the book back and read again. This time he read and whole book and he came back, well, Swami, Ramakrishna has the answer for our society. Our society is guided by dollar king and sex queen. And Ramakrishna has the medicine for those 2 things. They cannot give peace or permanent happiness in life. I always say that peace and bliss you cannot buy in the market. That comes from spiritual life. I remember once in Calcutta, I gave a lecture. There are 31 biographies are there. So I told them, I am going to tell you 31 stories. From each biography, I shall tell you 1 story. They are all householders. 1 story I shall tell you. That will cover my 1 hour. I shall tell perhaps a few. Rani Rashmani, very rich woman. She established that Kali Mandir. She asked Sri Ramakrishna to sing a song. Sri Ramakrishna began to sing in front of the Kali mother. And this lady was thinking about a lawsuit. And Sri Ramakrishna slapped. You mean you in front of the mother you are thinking lawsuit? Rani Rashmani was startled. Her bodyguards came about to throw away Sri Ramakrishna from the temple. Rani said, no, Father did the right thing. You have come to this place, think only about God. Second story, Mathur, the Rani Rasmani's son-in-law, who served Sri Ramakrishna 14 years. One day Sri Ramakrishna was walking on the veranda. One direction, Mathur was watching Sri Ramakrishna from the Kuchi bungalow. When one direction he saw Sri Ramakrishna has become Kali. When he moves another direction, he saw Sri Ramakrishna become Shiva. He ran and came and fell at his feet. Father, what do I see? Arey, what are you doing? You are Rani Rashmani's son-in-law. Get up, get up. People will think that I put a spell on you. Father, I saw. Sri Ramakrishna is the embodiment of all gods and goddesses. He was an avatar. This morning I was working on a book, minute book of the Ramakrishna order. Manomohan Mitra, a householder disciple, came to Sri Ramakrishna in 1879. Master, I want to renounce home. I want to live with you. Oh, no, you cannot live with me. You have wife, we have children. You go back home. No, I want to live with you. No! Listen, here is a mother fish, and she has all little, from the eggs, has little small fish around the mother. Mother protects. If mother fish is gone, other fish will eat this small fish. So mother fish must be stay at home. Protect the babies, the children. The way he said it, this is the way you will have to live the life. Do not renounce. And he taught them that how to live in this world and how to keep the mind in God. He gave two examples. One is, when you have toothache, what do? You have pain. All the time your mind is on toothache. But you are cooking, you are vacuuming, you are doing all sorts of work. How to do it? Let your body be in the world, but not mind. Let the boat be in the water, but not water in the boat. Otherwise the boat will sink. That Ramakrishna said. You live in this world, but let not worldliness enter inside you. How to do it? In Vaishnava scripture and Panchadoshi also, there is a verse. Parabhyasunini nari bhagropi grihakarmashu tadeva sadayadi anta parasangarasayanam. If a woman has a paramour, secret lover, she does all her household work, but her mind dwells on the paramour and the rendezvous, where I shall meet her. So let your body, activities in this world, keep your mind in God. How to do it? There is a sheet there in our handout. There aims 4 questions, 4 vital questions of householders. That we put it there. How to live in this world, how to love God, how to establish relationship with God. All those answers Sri Ramakrishna gave. Stay in this world like a maid servant. A maid servant in rich home does all household work. She looks after her master's son, or my John or my Haru. But from the bottom of her heart, she knows my son is in my country home. Stay in this world like this. Love everybody, serve everybody. But remember, God is your only own. You came alone, you will go alone. How to live in this world. Aim also wanted to be a monk. Oh, no, no, no. You will have to work for the mother. You are a householder. You have wife, children. Look after them. Serve them. Love them. But time to time come and have the company of the holy. Sometimes for a few days stay away from the family. In the retreat, meditate. Try to get some connection with God. Then again come to the world. In the milk, if you churn and the butter floats, that butter, if you put into water, it will never mix up. It will always float. So first attain devotion. When the devotion will come, you will find you will be uncontaminated. The Maya will not be able to find you. That is the reason when you read the last 7-8 verses of the 12th chapter of the Gita, Krishna mentioned the sign of a true devotee. You know, how it works, I tell you. Yoginma. She was married with a multi-millionaire. Do you know what? Her husband was bad character. He had 2 more wives. He is the 3rd wife. She had a baby by her husband, could not live with the husband's family, came to the father. Then she met Sri Ramakrishna, I think in 1882, in Balaram's house. Balaram was a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, great devotee. We used to take all the devotees to Dakshineshwar by boat. From Calcutta to Dakshineshwar, 4-5 miles upstream. And Calcutta is downstream. So we went to Dakshineshwar. And she used to stay whole day in Dakshineshwar. Other women also. They lived with Holy Mother, they used to cook. They used to serve Sri Ramakrishna. And in the evening, they used to return at night. She told her in her reminiscences, you know, whole week I was intoxicated. And I used to think that when I shall go back again to Dakshineshwar, when I shall go back to Dakshineshwar. And on the Sunday morning, I used to do all household work so quickly. And going to the boat and going to Dakshineshwar. That is called Golapinesha. Do you know what Golapinesha means? Sri Ramakrishna told the devotees. Hanga, Shokal Sundai Golapinesha hoy. In the morning and evening, when you sit for meditation, do you get some intoxication? Golapinesha means a man drinks. Sri Ramakrishna told Surendranath Mitra, his disciple, Surendra, before you drink, first offer to the mother. That way he restricted to drink him outside. So after office work, he used to come, take the bottle and put in the front of the mother, and he used to pray, Mother, now you will have to drink. Golapinesha means, when you open the cork of that wine bottle, you will get the odor of the alcohol. First touching the bottle, you get intoxicated. Opening, getting the smell, you got intoxicated. You have not yet drink. That is called Golapinesha. Before drinking period, you are intoxicated. Yes, I am going to drink. Do you know what does it mean? That when you really love, you will get this kind of intoxication. That's Sri Ramakrishna taught how to get it. Then spiritual life becomes so joyful, meaningful, blissful. Otherwise, that's like mechanically repeating japam and mantra. That is the reason you need holy company. When I give some classes, I see few people are there. But when I open the computer, I see 80, 90 people are watching the classes from St. Louis, all over the world, from England, from South Africa, from India. I sometimes think how St. Louis people miss these things. Amazing. All over this country, people are watching this class, these things, in Florida, many places, in California. Kalpataru. One day he came to, he was a drinking, alcoholic. His wife came to Sri Ramakrishna. Could you give some medicine so that I can change my husband's mind? Sri Ramakrishna sent him to Holy Mother. Holy Mother sent her to Holy Mother. Holy Mother sent her to Sri Ramakrishna. In this way, after a few times, Holy Mother gave a flower and said, put in an amulet and drink this water. After 12 years, that man came to Sri Ramakrishna and said, I hear people get some intoxication. Could I have some intoxication? Well, yes, yes. Well, is the wine made from England? Well, no, it is country-made wine. Sri Ramakrishna said, it's a biliti mod. Oh, no, deshi mod. It is country-made. That man was changed. One day he came by boat and Sri Ramakrishna says, I was thinking to go to Calcutta. Sir, my boat is ready, come. So he told the boatman, please drive the boat in the middle of the river. When the boat came in the middle of the river, he grabbed Sri Ramakrishna's speech and said, I am a wicked person. My character is very bad. I drink. When I shall die, my wife, my children, they will not come with me. I shall see darkness. You promised at the time of my death, you will hold my right hand and you will take me. Which you brought me in the middle of the river and making all this show. No, I won't let you go. I'll grab these 2 feet. Sri Ramakrishna, all right. I shall come and take you. During his death, Swami, I think Latu Maharaj was there. Do you know what he died? How he died? He was dying. He was telling the disciple of Ramakrishna, at present I have 500 rupees. Take this money. And at that time, Sri Ramakrishna died, when you will build the monastery, please use this money for the shrine of Sri Ramakrishna. So Belur Math old shrine, when you go and see, that marble, that altar was used from his money, 500 rupees. How Sri Ramakrishna's disciples loved their Guru. Genuine love. So when he died, he lifted his right hand, finished. Sri Ramakrishna kept his promise. There are so many stories. Maya Arpita Manobuddhi. And last time when I was in India, Gopalanma, it is in Kamarachi, 3-4 miles north from Dakshineshwar. That woman repeated mantra 16 hours a day, 30 years. 30 years, 16 hours a day, this woman repeated mantra and had the vision of baby Gopala. Gopala, baby Krishna was her chosen ideal. Her story is so fascinating. Swami Niranjanananda gave her a mosquito curtain. Too much mosquitoes, malaria. So she had the mosquito curtain and she was thinking, my room, there are so many mouse and other things, if they catch, they ruin the mosquito curtain, what will happen? Whole night she thought about mosquito curtain. In the morning she took the mosquito curtain, went to the monastery at Baranagar and told the monks, take back this mosquito curtain. It took away my mind from Krishna, Gopala. Whole night I thought about mosquito curtain and mosquito curtain. The thing which takes away my mind from God, I don't want that thing. When we read these stories, we feel that how Ramakrishna changed these people's lives. There is another devotee named Nagmashai. I went to his birthplace. It is in Narayanganj, near Dhaka, Bangladesh. In 1993, I went there. He was a doctor, homeopathic doctor. But Sri Ramakrishna said, I don't eat any food. Doctors say, take money from the poor people. I do not care for that service of that person. He took the medicine box and the books, everything, he threw into the Ganges. Never practiced. But I do not ask my doctor devotees to throw away all their business. Anyhow, he was extreme. He was a role model of a householder. When I was a student, when I read his life, is it possible to live in this world like this? 100% dependence on God. 100%, not 99%. Then I had a desire to write an article. So I think it is in 1964, 65, I was in training center. I wrote a long article comparing Nagmashai and St. Francis of Assisi. It was published. 3 or 4 issues in Udbodhan. I wrote in Bengali. Fascinating story. So much renunciation and purity you cannot think of. How Ramakrishna changed these people. He used to tell the stories that why we do not make progress in spiritual life. Nongor file, dartana. Some people went to the other side of the river. There was a tavern. Some people wanted to have a nice time in drinking. So they took the boat and went to the other side. They are drunk. They want to return their home. They came to the boat. And they are rowing. They started rowing the boat. They are drunk, rowing the boat. Early in the morning they found the boat was the same place, the other side of the river. It did not come to the other side. Why? Because the anchor was not lifted. The anchor was there, and they are rowing the boat. See, that is the condition of these people in this world. So much attachment. So much attachment for the world. And at the same time they want to realize God. If that happens, it doesn't make progress. You will have to leave the anchor, at least in the morning and evening, when you meditate. Leave the anchor. Swami Turiyananda used to say, when you go to the shrine, put a sign there. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Trespassers will be prosecuted. When I am going to meditate now, let not worldly things come here. Swami Sri Ramakrishna is another disciple, Purna Chandra Ghosh. He was one of the Ishwar coaches, a partial incarnation of Vishnu. He was 13 years old. He was a student of M.C. school. M brought him to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna instructed him and forbade him to marry. But his parents are very rich aristocrats. They forced him to get married. He was working for the government of India, accountant, big position. What happened? He developed tuberculosis in 1910, 1911. At that time, there is no medicine to cure TB. He had a nurse. He went to the bathroom. While coming, he was about to fall, dizzy. Sri Ramakrishna grabbed him and carried him to the bed. Sri Ramakrishna died in 1886 and it was 1911. Next morning he said to the devotees, "You people think that Master does not exist, but I saw Master carried me to bed last night." Later on, he was lamenting and contemplating to commit suicide. Then he was thinking, let me go, take shower. And then I shall go to the shrine, bow down to the Master, then I shall take away my life. She took shower, went to the shrine. Then all of a sudden the thought came, let me take a message of Ramakrishna, and then I shall take away my life. The moment he opened the book, do you know what he saw? In the Gospel of Ramakrishna. Purna balok bhakta ঠাকুর পূর্ণের মঙ্গল চিন্তা করিতেছেন। Purna balok bhakta. Purna is a boy devotee. Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna, is thinking of his welfare. That was printed in M's book. Hare? Master is thinking of my welfare and I shall take away my life. No. Whole life was changed. How Thakur protects his devotees. You know, those who take initiation, those who, they are the close connected with Sri Ramakrishna. They make Sri Ramakrishna their Ishta, ideal, chosen deity. Devotees, Sri Ramakrishna has some wonderful women devotees. One was Golapma. She had only one daughter, Pujo. The daughter was married with a very rich person. And the daughter died. Crying, crying, crying. Then Yoginma brought her to Sri Ramakrishna. She came and burst in Sri Ramakrishna's room. I have none. And cried. Sri Ramakrishna consoled her. It is very good that you have none. যার কেউ নেই তার ভগবান আছেন. The person who has none, God belongs to that person. God belongs to that person. Then do you know what Sri Ramakrishna did? Sri Ramakrishna took this woman, this widow, to Holy Mother and said, this woman will live with you. Feed her. When a person is very grief-stricken, do you know how to reduce the grief? Feed. The moment food goes into the stomach, grief will go down. Feed this woman. And this woman will stay with you. That happened. Golapma was the bodyguard of Sri Ramakrishna. Well, you have read Holy Mother's book, always protecting the mother. Mother was very shy, bashful, countryside girl. Her whole life was changed. Another woman, Nistarini Devi, I went to her home a couple of times. I think 2014 I went to their home. Swami Vivekananda went to her home and composed that salutation mantra, Sthapakaya Dharmaisya, in their home. Vivekananda. So I went to their home. Her husband came to Sri Ramakrishna. It was on Kalpataru Day. This man came in the evening. Kalpataru was done in between 3:30 and 4:30, 1.5 hours. So Swamiji told him, "Shh, you missed the chance. Go to the master right now, 1st of January, 1886, evening. Go to the master and ask something." So he went to Sri Ramakrishna. "Master, what will happen to me?" "Oh, সকাল সন্ধ্যায় ভগবানের নাম করবে. In the evening and morning, think about God. I have wife, 7 children, no time, full-time job. তুমি একটু আমার নাম, finally this, and he gave various alternatives. Finally says, তুমি একটু আমার নাম করতে পারবে? Will you be able to chant my name? Oh, yes, that I can do. That I can do. Jai Sri Ramakrishna, Jai Sri Ramakrishna, Jai Sri Ramakrishna. That he used to repeat. You tell me, you just chant my name, that will be enough for you. And his wife, I cannot tell you, she was an incarnation of Chinnamasta, one of the 10 forms of the Divine Mother. You see, those who came with Sri Ramakrishna, they are not ordinary people. Because Avatar does not come alone, he comes with a group of people so that he can play his divine play with them. This woman, Nistarini Devi, one day he came to Dakshineshwar. She came to Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna was telling, "Hello, I am a little sad today." "Why, Master?" "There is a cat, has 4 kittens. They move in my room. These temple guards beat them. They do not feed them. So they come to my room and they move around my feet and then they take shelter under my bed. Will you be able to take them to home? You have a big family." "Oh yes, Master, I shall take them." Listen carefully. They have taken refuge in me. So please look after them, feed them properly. Yes, Master, whatever you say, I shall do it. Then wherever Sri Ramakrishna met that woman, "Hello, are you taking care of those cats?" "Yes, Master." "Please remember, they took shelter in me. They took refuge in me. Please look after them." She told another, I got some, when you read that book, you will find Nistarini's life. She told this story to Sister Devamata, who wrote that story in Days in Indian Monastery. Laura Glenn, an American woman, wrote that book. A poor woman came to Dakshineshwar on Sanjays. A lot of people are in Sri Ramakrishna's room. And she brought 2 Rasagollas in a small earthen cup, hiding under her cloth. All rich people, so many gifts come to Sri Ramakrishna. I am a poor woman. I shall not be able to see the Master. All of a sudden, Sri Ramakrishna left the room. And he was searching something. Then he came to Nahabad, where Holy Mother stayed. Hello, I am very hungry. Give me what you have brought for me. Then Sri Ramakrishna, with cheerful eyes, she gave the 2 Rasagollas to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna ate and then came back to his room. Master was Antarjami. He knows what is in everybody's mind. You cannot hide anything. Just talk to him, pray to him. Then toward the end of Sri Ramakrishna's life, she came. She used to make very good sandesh. So she came making some sandesh with Sri Ramakrishna. At the time of cancer, he cannot eat anything solid. Only liquid food he was taking. What have you brought for me? Master, I brought some sandesh for you. She knew that Master cannot eat it. What do you want? I want to feed you. All right. He opened the mouth, he gave one sandesh. Sri Ramakrishna swallowed. Are you happy now? No. No, you eat one more. All right. Another sandesh he took. Are you happy now? No. You eat more. No. I shall not eat any more. I shall eat through my subtle bodies. When this woman was dying, she had dropsy. She was telling her daughter-in-laws, carry me to the kitchen. I shall make sandesh for the Master. I cannot walk up to the kitchen. Carry me. Master was very fond of my sandesh. Today is Master's birthday. I shall make sandesh for him. When she died, do you know how she died? She took the picture of Sri Ramakrishna, put on her chest, Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Bas. Gone. Gone. She went to Sri Ramakrishna. Anyhow, today I just told you some of the stories of Sri Ramakrishna. Unique in the religious history of the world. And we carry his message. This center belongs to Sri Ramakrishna. I pray to the Master that on this auspicious day, he blessed the devotees be illumined. I pray to the Master, may the Master bless you and give you peace and bliss in life. Thank you.